Hey, how's it going? My name is Liam Woodrum. I play Nick Park on Geek Girl, coming out on Netflix, and this is Young Entertainment.
What did you know about Geek Girl before auditioning?
If I'm being completely honest, did not know anything about it. But as soon as that first audition came in, that's when I started doing my research for it. And then by the time I had that first kind of live callback with the director, I had read the whole first book, so that was kind of my intro to it. I didn't know too much about it before.
Cool. So was the audition on Zoom and then was callback in person?
No, they were holding all of the auditions in London. So they were the first couple auditions were just all self tapes. You just film yourself and send it in. So I think the first maybe two or three were just self tapes. And
Cool.
then maybe the third one was finally got on a Zoom call with the director, the producer, and the casting director. And then at one point they wanted to maybe fly me out to meet the director and kind of just get a vibe. And then that ended up falling through. So then I thought I didn't get the part. And then it worked out eventually.
Yeah, that's got to be like such an emotional roller coaster. So what did you do like when you found out? What did you do to celebrate? Or like do you remember what you were doing when you got the call?
Yeah, I was just sitting down in the living room eating lunch, and then my agent called me. She was like, "Hey, they're no longer flying you out anymore because they're offering you the part." And then it was just kind of a moment of shock. And then no one was home except for my brother. I think he was taking a nap in his room, so I ran into his room like, "I got the job! I got the job!" I was jumping on him. We were screaming, and then called my dad, called my mom, and then they were stoked. And then my mom was flying. She's a flight attendant, so we we got the news when she was in the air. So we set up a camera, and when she came home, I told her about it. So I have the whole thing on camera, which is pretty sweet that I have that.
Oh my God, that's so special. And I'm sure that
Yeah.
just like made her entire life. That's so fun. So
Okay.
yeah. So since Geek Girl is all about fashion, how would you describe it if it was coming down a runway?
Bold. I feel like when you look at the cover of the book, it's got something captivating about it. So maybe bold. It's more of a younger, hip show. So maybe more young and hip and fashionable. Yeah,
That's so fun. I love it. Have you ever been to a fashion show?
I haven't.
Okay. So maybe
Not
this year,
maybe
maybe
this
New York
year.
Fashion Week, maybe you'll go. That could be fun.
That would be very fun.
I love it. What is your favorite thing about Nick?
Probably the way he treats Harriet. I think he just accepts her for who she is, and he's surrounded by all these certain types of people in the fashion world. So then when Harriet comes in, she's sort of this breath of fresh air, and he kind of just loves her for who she is and likes her quirky side and all of that.
That's so fun. That's so sweet. I love that. Back to you, Liam. Do you have a favorite snack at Crafty?
Oh, yes, I do. Crafty is dangerous. Goldfish and gushers. If they got gushers, then.
I
And
love
at the end of the day, I'll just throw a couple extra in my backpack before I leave.
that's so funny. Okay, speaking of like taking things from set, was there anything that you got to keep from set from filming?
Yeah, there was a we did a I don't know how much I'm allowed to, but I stole some of these like backstage pass little things, and then I got to keep a I wear a robe in the show that says Nick on the back, so I got to keep that, which is pretty cool. And then just a couple other pieces of costume, a nice jacket and some they let me keep the suit that I wore as well, so I have that suit as well. Yeah.
That's nice. So you could have you worn the suit out yet anywhere?
No, I haven't. It's probably in my closet collecting dust, but I might.
Yeah, maybe to like a wedding or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It'd be fun. That's a good conversation piece too. When somebody asks, like, "Where'd you get your suit?" or whatever, you look good. That's so fun. What was the most challenging part of this project, and how did you overcome it?
Every part of this was challenging. It was pretty, I mean, all of this was so new to me. The, the catwalk in the show that I have to do was pretty challenging and terrifying because I'd never done a catwalk before.
Yeah,
I walked the runway and then you throw all these extras sitting there watching, and
yeah,
that I was wearing was pretty heavy and bulky too, so that threw another little challenge in there. But that was probably, yeah, the catwalk. Just getting over my own fear of doing that in front of
yeah.
everybody was pretty scary.
Yeah, I mean, that is actually really intense. Did you have a coach? I mean, obviously the director's there, the
Yeah.
producers, but did anybody teach you how to walk a runway?
We had a movement coach that kind of helped us figure out. figure out how we wanted to do it, but a lot of it was just I watched a lot of videos of catwalks, and then on the day, Stacey McKenzie, who was a judge on I think America's Next Top Model or London's Next Top Model. I don't know which one, but she was there doing a little cameo, and so I went up to her. I was like, "Hey," and she was a supermodel and did a whole bunch of catwalks. So I was like, "Hey, is there any way you can just give me a couple little tips?" So she pulled all of us to the side that we're doing it and just made us do the walk up and down. And she went back full into that judge. She's like, "Nope, do it again, do it again." So that helped a lot.
Yeah, that's awesome. I bet too, like the audience, the extras, they're probably just so excited to be there. I'm sure they did not notice like if somebody didn't make a right step or anything. They're probably just like,
Hope not.
yeah, no way. They were just fangirling, I'm sure of it. So what are some things about Nick that we don't see on screen, but that you would like people to know about him?
Maybe that he's not completely fulfilled doing what he's doing modeling. I think from the outside it's all glitz and glamour, and he's this famous supermodel and he gets to travel everywhere. But when you really look at it, he's a 16-year-old kid who's just stripped from growing up like a normal kid, and he's living in a different country with none of his friends. He's got an auntie who's pretty strictly business, and his family is away, and he's kind of just bouncing back and forth. So it's a pretty isolated life that he lives.
Yeah.
But the opposite side of that is he has all of this, and he gets to do this great career. But there's that side of it that's pretty isolating.
That's so interesting too. And like I feel like that's so our culture and like day and age. Like we see stuff on Instagram, we see the highlight reel and we see what people are doing. But it's like no one really is like 100% happy 100% of the time. Like even when we think people have it all, they don't. So that's a really cool side to share of Nick. So what did you, Emily, and the rest of the cast do outside of filming to help you build those connections that we see on screen?
Oh man, we hung out a lot outside, but there were days too where we would come to set if we weren't even working, we would just show up on set and hang out and watch. There were a couple, just dinners. They introduced you to the Sunday roast out there. Some Sundays we would go and have a Sunday roast.
Oh,
Uh,
fun.
a karaoke night with a bunch of the cast. That was pretty fun. Yeah, just hanging out outside.
Okay, cool. What was your favorite thing about filming in London?
Just getting to experience a different culture.
Yeah.
Um, I still live at home, so being away from home for that long of a time was also pretty fun.
Yeah.
And just experience getting the opportunity to live in a different country for an extensive amount of time was so much fun.
Yeah, that's so crazy. Did anybody that you know, like friends or family, come visit you?
Yeah, I had a couple friends who came and visited. I said earlier, my mom's a flight attendant, so she was working flights to London
Oh,
once a
wow.
week. So she was
Oh
there
my
once.
God.
She was there once a week, and she would come to set. Dad came and visited a couple times too. So I had family out there all the time. Yeah,
That's so special. I feel like that's probably pretty rare. I don't think anybody else
it's
had their
very
mom.
rare. Yeah,
So cool. I love that.
I got lucky for sure.
Yeah, it probably made you feel like grounded and just like having a piece of home with you and your family. That's so special. Was there one thing that you learned from any fellow cast member on set? Maybe it was offset, either one that you plan to take with you and as you continue on your career path?
Yeah, so much. I mean, everyone on this set had been doing this for longer than I've been alive, Emily included, and she's younger than me, however that works. But uh, so I mean, there was my first day on set. I was terrified. My hands were shaking. I was
Wow.
stiff and lips quivering. I was terrified. And we are doing this scene, and it wasn't going right. And director's like, "Oh, we're gonna try one more time." He's like, "Just shake it out a little bit, get loose." We do it again, and it wasn't working. And then Manny, who plays Wilbur, Emmanuel, he was there that day, and he pulled me aside. And he's like, "Hey, are you having fun right now?"
Oh,
I was like, yeah, I'm having fun. And he looked at me. He's like, "Are you having fun right now?" I was like, "No, I'm not having fun. I'm terrified. I don't know what to do." He's like, "Just relax. Bring the joy back into it. Have fun."
wow.
So took a couple minutes aside and chatted about that, and then went right back into it. And then I think the next take we ended up getting it and moving on.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
really powerful. Was there one thing that he said or one thing that like switched in your brain to where you're like, wait, I can do this? Like, was there one thing that kind of helped you make that shift out of the nerves and just to be able to relax?
Yeah, just to realize that I mean what we're doing is so grateful to be doing what we're doing. and to have fun. That the whole reason, most actors get into it is because they fall in love with acting itself.
Yeah,
You can get so caught up in all the other stuff going on that you forget to just have fun with it all. So I think
totally.
I got so caught up in this is my first day on set. I need to get this right. And once you get into that, I need to get this right, then everything else goes out the window. So just him saying just have fun, everything kind of just came back together.
I feel like we all need to hear that. Like, it's so easy to get caught up in the moment and stress and worry. And I feel you
Yeah.
so much, especially because you're probably a perfectionist, I would assume. Like, you want the scene to be amazing. Like, and it can be a lot of pressure. So I love that. I love that you took a moment and kind of just helped you get grounded. And that's something that everybody can relate to. Did you have a fun BTS moment, something off camera that was funny, whether it was like in between takes or something funny that happened like
Yeah.
one night in London?
There were a couple of those. But when we were filming in Ottawa, actually, I think me and Emily went and got dinner, and then in Canada, we were walking around and stopped at this souvenir shop in Ottawa, and we probably bought one too many things, but we ended up getting these big old hats, like tall Abraham Lincoln sized hats.
Oh my gosh.
They're like sparkly Canadian hats. I had a tight pink T-shirt that says "I Heart Ottawa," and she had a big hat with a T-shirt that says "I Heart Ottawa."
Yeah,
And after dinner, we just kind of walked around
I
and
love it.
outside, and everyone was like, what is going on with these people? That was pretty cool.
What do you hope that people take away from Nick after watching the series?
From a couple things. Maybe that everything on the outside isn't always what it seems, kind of like
Yeah,
what we just talked about. And also maybe just to look for the true people, like Nick did with Harriet. Look for the real inside of other people, and the authenticity inside of other people, and
yeah,
love people for who they are truly.
yeah. That's cool. It's really important. What do you think would be on Nick's current like Spotify playlist?
Oh man, I don't know. He's younger, he's 16, probably some hip hop, maybe Drake. Drake. He's also a beachy kid. Maybe throw some Jack Johnson in there as well.
Fun.
Mix, yeah.
Classic. Love it. Did you speak with the author Holly about how to play Nick or anything production wise?
She was on set
Oh, cool.
some days. There wasn't a specific conversation of where we sat down. She's like, this is kind of what I'm thinking. She gave us, a lot of trust and leeway with that.
Cool.
But there was a moment kind of halfway through shooting where she sent me a message and she said, "Hey, I've been seeing some of the dailies, and I absolutely love what I'm seeing. I'm so happy with the choices I made, and you're doing an amazing job." So that was just a huge relief. That's kind of all you want right there for the person who created all of this to tell you that you're doing a good job. So that was amazing.
Yeah. That's where it's at, especially like after coming to set, like having those first day jitters and it's just everything being so new. You're in a different country
Yeah.
and then getting that back. That's so cool. So part of our content that we're doing is like masterclass content. We have a lot of young actors that follow Young Entertainment. And so can you give us like a quick breakdown on like what dailies are, like the definition of that?
Yeah, dailies would be the footage that you shoot at the end of the day. They kind of get straight to the editor, and he'll chop it up just like a rough little cut, and then they get sent and they look over it. It's just the footage shot from that day.
Cool. Do you think you'd be friends with Nick if you met him in real life?
Yeah, I think so. We're pretty similar.
Yeah.
He's a bit younger, so maybe there'd be like a older brother, younger brother type of relationship. But yeah, I think so.
Where would you like to see Nick's storyline go if picked up for season two?
Well, hopefully it does get picked up for season two, and
Yeah,
it would maybe more of Nick's family, see what life is like at home. You
cool.
know, brothers or sisters, what his mom and dad are like, life back at home with his friends, what does that look like?
Like really just the personal stuff, like getting to know him more.
I mean, it's not a show about Nick, but maybe just a glimpse into that life,
Yeah, or maybe the show becomes all about Nick. You
or
never know.
it takes a turn.
Awesome. Okay, cool. And then we're just gonna do rapid fire really quick. So just answer whatever comes to mind is great.
Okay, yeah.
So what?
I said, yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, sweet. So this rapid fire is all about first. So first acting role.
First acting role was a music video for the band Extreme.
Fun. Okay, what was the role?
It was just this boyfriend and girlfriend going through a breakup, or like a friends turning into lovers type of thing.
Okay, cool. What was your first audition?
Oh man, I don't even maybe like a T-Mobile commercial or something.
That's
Yeah.
funny. I just interviewed another gal right before this, and she said it was her first audition was for a Microsoft commercial. So I feel like first are often the commercial auditions. What was
Right.
your first dream role?
My first dream role, probably a delusional thought of me wanting to play James Bond. Eventually, I was a James Bond when I was a kid was my favorite thing ever.
Is that what inspired you to become an actor?
Partially, I think that maybe sparked the flame of creativity when I was younger and wanting to, because I would, run around the house in a full suit with toy guns and playing, and I'd wear my suit to school, and so that probably had something to do with it. Yeah.
That's fun. I like that. I like that you've also got to take your suit home from set. So I don't know, maybe there's something.
Right? There's something in there.
Yeah, first day on your first set.
First day on my first set would be that music video. We were in Malibu. Yeah, I got to drive a cool old school car down PCH in Malibu, which is pretty fun.
Fun. Best place ever in my opinion. First on-screen kiss if you've had one.
That music video.
Wow.
Yeah.
Music video really did it. That just kind of launched
Yeah.
it in. I love it. Okay, first time you had to cry on cue.
Just recently, actually, the last job that I did. I don't know if I can say too much about that job, but yeah, the last job that I did.
Can you give us a quick tip for how to cry on cue for all the actors that watch?
Oh man, I'm still trying to figure that out too. um, uh, don't force it. I think the
Yeah,
more you try to get the tears, because in real life, I think the human nature is to try to hide all emotion that we have. We're
yeah,
constantly trying not to cry and trying not to have those emotions. So maybe the thought of don't let myself cry in character helps.
yeah. No, that's really good. Um, kind of just went over this, but first movie or TV show to inspire you to become an actor.
Dr. No, James Bond was definitely up there. And then once I kind of figured out that I wanted to be an actor, I think Heath Ledger in The Dark Knight, that's a popular one, but that one was definitely huge. All of Heath Ledger's things. And then there was Timothy Chalamet in Beautiful Boy as well. I remember watching that and I was like, man, that's the type of stuff I want to do.
Wow, cool. I love it. Awesome.
See you later, and do not forget to subscribe to Young Entertainment.